In Hage, a priest finds two babies abandoned outside his church. He takes them inside and discovers their names to be Yuno and Asta. 15 years later, Asta proposes to Sister Lily, who refuses repeatedly. Yuno and the other orphans criticize Asta and point out his lack of magic. Asta tries to show off his skills, but Yuno outshines him with his magic. Later, at the grimoire acceptance ceremony, a pair of nobles criticize the commoners there. Despite Asta not receiving a grimoire while Yuno attains a 4-leaf clover 1, Asta challenges Yuno to the title of Wizard King, but Yuno ignores him. After the ceremony, the two nobles ambush Yuno outside the tower, but Yuno overpowers them. All three are then ambushed by Revchi Salik, a former magic knight who plans to steal Yuno's grimoire and sell it. Asta comes to Yuno's rescue but fails. As Revchi breaks Asta's spirit, Yuno calls Asta his rival. Motivated by this acknowledgement, Asta decides to keep fighting, which summons a grimoire from the tower. Revchi notices that it has a 5-leaf clover, and when a large sword appears from the grimoire, Asta grabs it and the shadow of a devil appears behind him. 10 years prior, Yuno was running through a trail and suddenly fell down. Asta asked Yuno if he was okay and came close to him, so Yuno could grab his hand and get up. Asta called Yuno a crybaby and told him it is okay since he got his back. Later in the church, Lily read to Yuno and Asta a story about how the Wizard King came to exist. After a demon had brought darkness and threatened to destroy the world, a brave mage fought and defeated the demon, returning dawn to the world. Asta asked Lily if the Wizard King was an important person, to which the sister agreed and added that he was the most important person after the king. Asta stood on top of the fence outside the orphanage and told them that he had made up his mind, he would become the Wizard King. Lily seemed very surprised and Asta proceeded to list why he wanted to be the Wizard King. And Asta told her that he would help her with the laundry, for which Lily thanked him. He then told her to marry him and she immediately answered, no. When Asta grabbed Nash, he started to shake the baby in a rough way, causing Nash to cry even more. Lily was able to stop Nash crying and Asta seemed quite surprised. Rixa mocked Asta because he declared himself to be the Wizard King in the future. Father Orsi asked the orphans to deliver a letter to another town. Asta volunteered but Orsi chose Yuno instead. In the town, Yuno delivered the letter and then was accosted by a drunkard, who took the boy's necklace. Asta noted that Yuno was running late. Suddenly Asta ran in and tried to tackle the man, who knocked Asta aside. However, each time he was hit, Asta kept getting up and demanding the necklace. Seeing the bloodied and bruised boy's determination, the man eventually gave up and dropped the necklace. Yuno apologized for getting Asta hurt, but Asta reminded him that he would always have Yuno's back. 1. Back in the present, Revchi Sulik freaks out about the grimoire and sword that appeared, while a devil-shaped shadow appears on the wall behind Asta. A swing from the sword nullifies Revchi's chain magic. As he slams the sword into Revchi, Asta declares that he will become the Wizard King despite not having magic and that not giving up is his magic. Revchi is knocked unconscious and sent crashing into a wall. Asta explains that he trained his body physically since he did not have magic. Asta and Yuno
recall the promise they made to each other and reaffirm their vow to become the Wizard King.
When a giant demon attacks a city within the Clover Kingdom, the monstrous creature wreaks havoc, threatening to destroy everything in its path. Just as all hope seems lost, the first Wizard King appears, wielding incredible magic. In a fierce battle, he manages to defeat the demon, saving the city and its people. His victory marks the beginning of the long tradition of the Wizard King, who will protect the kingdom for generations to come. Over the years, the Wizard King, along with 9 squads of magic knights, continues to. In the present day, Asta and Yuno, 2 orphans raised together at the Church of Hage, are shown preparing for their future. Asta, who possesses no magical abilities, has been training relentlessly. He has completed 1,000 swings with the sword he received from his mysterious grimoire, determined to become strong enough to join the ranks of the magic knights. In contrast, Yuno, a prodigy with immense magical power, spends his days honing his abilities, practicing with elemental magic and demonstrating his natural talent by effortlessly chopping wood and shattering rocks. Sister Lily and Father Orsi visit Drought to discuss their foster sons taking the exam, too, afterward. The next day while Asta is training, Mash approaches him and says that orphans are too weak and poor to dream of becoming magic knights. However, Asta yells at him not to give up, declaring that he will prove anyone can. That night, Lily and Orsi prepare a special dinner of various Tato dishes for the boys before they leave in the morning. The boys depart and Lily remembers first meeting the boys and the night Yuno brought back an injured Asta. During their long journey to the royal capital, the boys continue training. The bustling city of GIGA buzzed with excitement as aspiring mages from all corners of the Clover Kingdom gathered to take the Magic Knight's entrance exam. Among them were Asta and Yuno, two boys from the remote village of Hage, each with dreams of becoming the Wizard King. As the candidates waited for the exam to begin, an unusual phenomenon occurred. Flocks of antibirds, small magical creatures known to be attracted to those with little or no mana, swooped down into the crowd. They avoided Yuno entirely, recognizing the overwhelming magical energy radiating from him. But Asta wasn't so lucky. The birds zeroed in on him, pecking and flapping around his head. As he tried to escape the relentless antibirds, he stumbled, quite literally, into a towering figure who exuded an intimidating presence. Looking up, Asta found himself face to face with Yami Sukahiro, the gruff and fearsome captain of the Black Bulls. Behind Yami stood two of his squad members, the suave and laid-back Finro Rollicase and the soft-spoken, eerie Gordon Agrippa. Yami, amused by Asta's wild antics, grabbed the boy by his head and offered a gruff comment about weaklings like him getting eaten alive in the Magic Knights. But rather than being cowed, Asta's fiery determination only flared brighter, catching Yami's attention for a brief moment before the captain moved on. Shortly after Yami left, Asta was approached by a cocky and self-assured candidate named Sek Bronzatsa. Striking up a conversation, Sek offered Asta a rundown of the Magic Knight captains as they arrived one by one, each making a grand entrance. There was the regal Nozel Silva of the Silver Eagles, the commanding Fugolian Vermilion of the Crimson Lions, the wild and unpredictable Jack the Ripper of the Green Mantises, the elegant yet formidable Charlotte Roselay of the Blue Roses, the sly and mysterious Geldra Poiset of the Purple Orchis, the sleepy yet enigmatic Dorothy Unsworth of the Coral Peacocks, the youthful prodigy Ril Boismortier of the Aqua Deer, and finally, the radiant William Vengeance of the Golden Dawn, whose presence seemed to captivate everyone in the room. Sek's commentary, though colorful, was laced with arrogance as he subtly positioned himself as superior to the other hopefuls. When the exam finally began, the candidates were subjected to a series of grueling tests designed to measure their magical prowess. Yuno dazzled everyone with his effortless skill, his wind magic proving both powerful and precise. In stark contrast, Asta struggled at every turn, his lack of magic making most of the tests impossible to complete. The final test of the day was a duel, where each candidate had to choose a partner to fight. Sek, seeing Asta as an easy target, eagerly volunteered to face him. He approached Asta with feigned friendliness, masking his intent to humiliate the magicless peasant in front of everyone. Asta, oblivious to Sek's scheming but undeterred by his own shortcomings, agreed to the match. As the duel began, Sek confidently activated his magic, creating a defensive barrier and preparing to toy with Asta. But before Sek could make his move, Asta unsheathed his massive anti-magic sword. With a single, decisive swing, he shattered Sek's barrier and sent him flying, stunning the crowd into silence. Standing tall in the aftermath, Asta declared his dream with unwavering conviction, "I'm going to become the Wizard King." Asta's determination and resilience are on full display. After defeating Sek Bronzatsa with ease, Asta boldly declares his goal of becoming the Wizard King. In one notable match, Yuno faces off against Salim Hapshas, nobleman who arrogantly believes his superiority as a noble will guarantee his victory. Selim uses his most potent spell in an attempt to overpower Yuno. However, Yuno calmly counters with his towering tornado, easily overwhelming Selim and proving his exceptional magical skill. Yuno's composure and strength further establish him as a standout contender in the competition. As the exam concludes, the squad captains begin selecting recruits. Yuno becomes the center of attention, with all captains vying to recruit him due to his immense potential and impressive performance. Yuno ultimately chooses to join the Golden Dawn, a prestigious and highly sought-after squad. In stark contrast, Asta receives no offers from any of the captains, leaving him momentarily disheartened. However, Yami Sukahiro, the captain of the Black Bulls, steps forward and confronts Asta. Yami acknowledges that Asta's lack of magical power and the mysterious origin of his anti-magic abilities make him an enigma, which is why other captains are hesitant to recruit him. Despite this, Yami sees potential in Asta's unyielding determination and relentless drive. When Asta passionately reaffirms his resolve to become the Wizard King, Yami recognizes his spirit and invites him to join the Black Bulls, a squad known for its eccentric and rowdy members. Without hesitation, Asta accepts the offer, thrilled to have finally taken a step toward his dream. Afterward, Yuno and Asta briefly reconnect to share their excitement about being chosen for their respective squads. However, their moment is interrupted when Asta excuses himself to use the restroom. Sek, bitter from his earlier defeat, follows Asta with malicious intent. He conjures a poisonous lizard spell to attack Asta, but Yuno intervenes and stops Sek before any harm is done. Asta is then taken to the Black Bull's base, eager to meet his new squadmates. As he opens the door, he is immediately blasted with a burst of fire magic, a chaotic welcome characteristic of the unpredictable Black Bulls. Despite the rough introduction, Yami officially welcomes Asta to the squad, marking the start of his journey as a magic knight. Yuno arrives at the base of the prestigious Golden Dawn squad, where he meets Klaus Lunetz, a senior member. Klaus, a disciplined and traditional mage, immediately warns Yuno that joining the Golden Dawn is not just a privilege, it comes with immense expectations. He makes it clear that Yuno, despite his exceptional abilities, will have to prove himself to gain acceptance within the squad. Klaus's attitude underscores the high standards and rigid hierarchy of the Golden Dawn, highlighting the stark difference in atmosphere compared to the Black Bulls. Meanwhile, Asta finds himself in a completely different environment at the chaotic Black Bull's base. Eager to introduce himself, Asta quickly realizes that the members of the Black Bulls are too preoccupied with their own antics to pay him any attention. The group's unruly and carefree nature contrasts sharply with the structured discipline of the Golden Dawn. It takes their captain, Yami Sukahiro, using his overwhelming presence, literally breaking a wall, to finally gather the squad together. One by one, the eccentric members of the Black Bulls introduce themselves to Asta. Their wild personalities range from the fiery Magna Swing to the playful Charmy Papitson and the unpredictable Luck Valtia. Despite their odd behaviors, it's evident that the squad operates more like a family than a traditional team. Asta, however, learns that earning his place in this unconventional group requires more than introductions. Magna decides to test Asta's mettle with an initiation ritual, starting with a grueling series of physical challenges, including push-ups and sit-ups. Though exhausting, Asta's relentless determination shines through. For the final trial, Magna challenges him to block a powerful magical attack. Using his anti-magic sword, Asta manages to deflect Magna's fireball attack back at him, showcasing not only his unique power but also his unwavering resolve. Magna, impressed by Asta's courage and capability, officially welcomes him into the Black Bulls and presents him with a robe, a symbol of his acceptance. As Asta celebrates his success, Noel Silva, a royal and another new recruit of the Black Bulls, watches from a balcony. Asta, brimming with excitement, is led to his new room by Magna Swing. For someone who grew up in the humble and crowded confines of the church, the idea of having a space to call his own feels like a dream come true. The small but cozy room, filled with the rustic charm of the Black Bull's chaotic bass, seems like a palace to Asta. Overwhelmed with joy, he thanks Magna enthusiastically, promising to make the most of this opportunity. Magna, enjoying Asta's boundless energy, encourages him to write to the church and let them know about his achievement of joining the Magic Knights. Meanwhile, over at the Golden Dawn base, Yuno receives his own private room. Unlike Asta, Yuno approaches the situation with his usual calm demeanor. Klaus Lunetz, one of his squad mates, informs him that he'll soon begin learning about his Magic Knight duties. Back at the church, Sister Lily and the children are ecstatic when they receive Asta's and Yuno's letters. The surprise of both orphans making it into the Magic Knights spreads a wave of pride and joy among the church residents.